Hi, Marcia Hickey from the Wareham Free Library, continuing our review of the middle school summer reading books. This week we're going to talk about two books from the 6th grade list that are nonfiction and true books. The first one is about Jackie Robinson, the great baseball player who integrated baseball. He was the very first baseball player to play for the major leagues. And it's by Sharon Robinson, who was his daughter, How Jackie Robinson Changed America, Promises to Keep. The title comes from her dad always talked, if you make a promise, you stand by it. Jackie Robinson grew up in a sports family, California, during World War II. He went into the war, and when he came back, he played for Negro leagues. Baseball players were not integrated. He was a ferocious competitor. He was a hard player. He was probably the very best black player in the country. He attracted a lot of attention. A manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, Branch Rickey, called him in for an interview. He was not a prejudiced man, and he wanted to have Jackie Robinson on his team. But he didn't mince words with Jackie. He says, it's going to be tough. You're going to have trouble with the fans that won't want a black player. You're going to have trouble with players from the other team, and you're going to even have trouble with players from our team. Are you going to be able to handle this pressure? And he asked, is your family going to be able to handle it? Will your wife be able? And they shook hands and they made a promise. 3 years it was going to try it out. Both Branch Rickey and Jackie Robinson would try for 3 years. And it was a success. The first year was hard, make no doubt about it. When they traveled down south for spring training, they couldn't eat at the same restaurant as the white players and their wives ate at. People taunted them. In the games, people taunted him. Other players from other teams would slide into him and their spikes up or aim for him, but he persevered through it all with calmness and nonviolence. And he never swore, he never got angry. He just showed him the country through his deeds. He was a great player, he was a gentleman, and because of his actions, more and more black and Hispanic players integrated the major leagues, and he kept his promise, and he integrated baseball, and it became a great part of our country because sports have really helped that, all the sports. And he was a great man, interesting to learn about all of his feats and how he reacted to the players and how he changed America. The second book has a more famous figure, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., because of course we have a holiday that honors this man. He was a minister, nonviolent, and he changed our country and the world too. This book is by James L. Swanson, and it's called Chasing King's Killer, The Hunt for Martin Luther King Jr.'s Assassin. Assassin means a murderer of a historical figure. This book is very thin, easy to read. This book is kind of dense, harder to read, but the back, literally 100 pages done in gray, is all extra information to learn and study about if you're really, really interested. And because this assassination took place in more recent history, 1968, literally half of this book is made up with photos of what happened, of Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, of him growing up, of his family, of his speeches and marches. Of course, the speech on the mall in Washington, D.C., where he said, I have a dream, that's all documented. And then when it comes to his assassination, you see the actual photo of him on the motel balcony speaking. And this is his killer, so it's the hunt for this man, James Earl Ray, and just a very normal looking guy that you couldn't pick him out. And this was his wanted photo. So it's an exciting book. They're short chapters. They're thrilling because, again, it's the hunt for this man and chasing him down, and how he evades capture, right away, and how he planned it. You see his rifle, you see everything, but you learn about the importance of Martin Luther King too. So 2 great men, 2 nonviolent figures, one a sports figure, one a political, historical figure that integrated our country and changed our country. Both great reads. I hope you enjoy them.